So, today we're going to get into the real psychology behind why so many smart, creative people actually prefer being alone. And I'm willing to bet it's not for the reason you think. Let's just start with a feeling that I know so many of you will recognize. You've just left a party, or maybe you've finished a long day of meetings, and you're not just tired, you are completely wiped out, like your brain just ran a marathon. If that sounds familiar, well, we're about to explain exactly why that happens. Okay, so the first thing you've got to know is this. That feeling, it's not a character flaw. You're not being rude or antisocial. It's actually just a reflection of your cognitive architecture. I mean, literally, it's about how your brain is built to function. And that brings us to our first big idea. Let's really unpack this feeling, this social hangover, and figure out why it feels like such a massive energy drain. The key concept here is something called social sensitivity. Now, look, this isn't about being emotionally sensitive or fragile. It's all about cognitive energy. For some of us, social situations are the brain's equivalent of a high-intensity workout. They just burn way more fuel to get through. And just like a really tough workout, that means you need a longer recovery period afterward. Here's probably the best way to picture it. Think of your daily mental energy like a fully charged phone battery, right? Well, for someone with high social sensitivity, a long conversation or a crowded party, that's like running a super power-hungry app in the background. It just drains that battery incredibly fast, leaving you desperate to find a charger. So if socializing is that power-hungry app, what's the currency it's spending? Well, that brings us to what we could call your brain's social bill, the very real cognitive price you pay for connection. That currency is something called cognitive bandwidth. You can think of it as the total processing power your brain has on any given day. And the most important thing to remember is that it's a finite resource. You only have so much of it. And every single thing you do, from your job to just chatting with a friend, it all draws from that exact same limited pool of energy. And here's why that bill gets so high. See, socializing isn't just one simple task. It's this constant, complicated juggling act. Your brain is trying to decipher body language, process what's being said, figure out how to respond, and manage your own emotions, all at the same time. That is an incredible demand on your cognitive bandwidth. And this right here, this is where it all clicks into place. If you're someone with high social sensitivity, each one of those little social tasks just costs a bit more. The mental price of that interaction is higher for you, which means your cognitive battery just drains way faster than it might for someone else. But wait, this isn't just about trying to avoid an energy drain. There's actually a really powerful positive reason why people seek out solitude. So let's get to the real heart of it, the actual reason smart people crave that alone time. And that reason is a brain state called deep processing. This is your brain in peak performance mode. It's where you get those aha moments, where you solve really complex problems, and where you do your most creative thinking. But here's the catch. It's a really fragile state. To get there, you need quiet, you need focus, and most critically, you need zero social distractions. So this leads to a huge shift in how we think about this. Seeking solitude isn't some negative act of escaping people. It's a positive, proactive choice. You're choosing to create the mental space your brain needs to do its best, most important work. You're not running away from the crowd. You're running towards clarity and creativity. There's this quote that just nails it. The need for quiet isn't a weakness. It's actually a sign of self-reliance. It's the mark of a mind that gets its validation from the inside, from its own ideas and its own work, rather than needing to get it from constant chatter and outside stimulation. Okay, let's pull all these threads together now in our final section. It's time to redefine this need for space, not as some antisocial quirk, but as a genuinely brilliant personal strategy. So let's put the old myth right next to the new reality. The misconception is that you're antisocial, that you're avoiding people, or you lack social skills. But the reality, the truth is so much more empowering. You're actually strategically protecting your cognitive bandwidth, you're creating the space you need for deep processing, and you're seeking internal validation. You see, it all works together in this amazing positive cycle. It starts with your wiring, that high social sensitivity, which uses more brain energy. That leads you to consciously choose solitude to recover that energy. That recovery then makes deep processing possible. And the result, your best, most creative work and a powerful sense of personal accomplishment. So if you take away just one thing, let it be this. The time you carve out for yourself is not selfish, and it's not antisocial. It is an absolutely essential and intelligent strategy. It's the mental maintenance you have to do to unlock your highest creative potential. And that brings us to our final thought. The next time you feel that pull to be alone, to just close the door and think, I want you to ask yourself this question. Instead of thinking about what you're running away from, I want you to ask, what am I actively making space for? Is it a new idea? Is it a solution to a tough problem? Or is it just the quiet you need to finally hear your own thoughts? Trust me, what you're doing is far more important than you probably think.